Hi, thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk to you about making a specialty bath, and these can be made for any occasion or the end of the year. And so what I generally recommend is first doing a series of cleansing baths and then do a series of baths to bring in the new year. And it depends, of course, on what your intention is, what types of oils or fragrances that you will use. The essential oils are called flavors, but you can also use a type of cologne or something to scent it. This is a store-bought cologne, specialty colognes, talking about a drop of luck. So you need something that will scent your bath, and these are essential oils, which are very strong, so you don't need that much of them. So you can have essential oils. You will need alcohol. They have a 50%. This is 70%, nothing stronger than that. And of course, you need water. This water can come straight out of the faucet, or you can purchase spring water or purified water. It doesn't matter, just a water. And if you do not have essential oils, you can use natural herbs or spices. It can be crushed spices or the whole spices. They don't have to be fresh spices. And you can use fruit. Some people recommend the blossoms off the fruit, but you don't have to. So that's another thing in place of fresh herbs. If you're using a fruit, then you'll need something to zest the whole, which a little small grater will do. You need droppers, of course, and you need containers of different sizes. Waterproof containers with caps on them. This is a larger one so that you can make a larger quantity. And what I recommend you doing is starting with usually a small one, not one this small, but I generally use this for mixing sometimes. Maybe the little small regular 16-ounce bottle. Start with this and then move to the larger sizes by diluting it. This will give you 2 of these size containers. And generally I would use just a 16-ounce container to make to use at one time. So for a use, this you can mix up. You'll have 2, and I do recommend a minimum of a 3-day consecutive bath, and that way it has time to kind of take effect, work on a lot of things. Most of the time it's not a one-shot deal, so this will give you 2 mixtures, and then that's why I was showing you this larger size. It's not quite a gallon, but this is 3-quart size. You don't want to be limited in what you're going to do, and so that's why I'm telling you about the larger sizes. And we will go ahead and begin. I'll show you how to do it because these are some pre-mixed flavors that are already mixed up. This one is a series of, I mixed them up already, and I'll let you know some fragrances that you can use for different purposes. Now all I have to do is draw from this, and then I have another container. You can see sometimes I like to infuse them with different colors and different energies. I will make a video on infusing your fragrances. So let's begin with the main thing, and that's mixing the fragrance, mixing up a specialty bath, preparing it rather. A dropper is all you need. Depends on what size you're going to use. Unfortunately, that dropper is not working so well. You don't need a full-size dropper. Okay, now I'll just take a little of the pre-mixed oil A whole dropper will make about 2 quarts. Depends on how strong you like your bath. So this is not a full dropper. It's maybe 3/4 of a dropper. I'll go ahead and finish it off. Just make a whole gallon of it. Why not? So you need your essential oil, and this is a mix that I've already done. These droppers, once you use them, they are reusable. So what I usually do is I have another container with alcohol in it and just squirt. That's if you don't have something pre-mixed or you only have one dropper. Just squirt, pull in some alcohol and squirt it out, and it will rinse that flavor out of there, and you can reuse it in the next scent that you have. Okay, you notice how much, it's not that much that's in there. And now I'm going to add some alcohol. And I'd like to say I measure this out, but I don't. But I can kind of give you that's not even what, that may be an ounce, ounce and a half. You have to have enough alcohol in there, and that will depend on the dropper size that you use. When I use this dropper, I must have way more alcohol than when I use this smaller dropper. And so a lot of times that's why I eyeball it. But I'm looking at the consistency. It's like watered down. And what you want to do, as you see, I'm not shaking it, but I'm swirling it in different directions. You have to get the alcohol to break the oil down. Otherwise, it will not mix well with the water. That's kind of nice. I'm smelling it. It's still a little strong. I'm going to add just a touch more, maybe a tablespoon. And that was about a teaspoon of alcohol, more alcohol, just to get it at the right consistency. And I will add it to this bottle, only because this bottle is quite full. If your alcohol is not broken down well enough, I'll show you what that will look like. If that alcohol doesn't break the oil down well enough, you'll notice this is a bath that I've already mixed up. It's pink in color, but I'm going to turn it, and because of the way the camera is positioned, it's going to move, but you can see there's a green tint down here. See all of that? That's because I have way too much oil in here, and it didn't break down quite well enough with the alcohol. I can remedy that by pouring out the majority of that and adding some alcohol into the bottom. Okay, what I did with this is I dropped some cloves in it. I think I'm having a problem with my camera. I use just some regular cloves and drop them in while it's in the alcohol stage. I used a few pinches of allspice and a very small amount of the cinnamon essential oils, and it just gave it that color. I recommend adding a few drops of some type of oil. This is for Success. This is Success oil. It's about a half a dropper here. And it has a little red color to it. But it's not going to matter too much because that color in there is brown. And there we have it. So to go over that again, when you have the oil and the alcohol in there, it's at that stage that if you want to add a few extra herbs in it, that's the stage that you do it in. So I will zest this orange and just take Doesn't have to be much, but I can smell it now. And I'll drop that in there. That's pretty strong all by itself. Those items are considered useful for money. And I was going to just run it across the screen, but I decided I'd better show it to you. It would be easier to show it to you and probably more helpful. There's no trick to it. It's just simple stuff. And now I will add it to the water. This is the stage that you now added the water to it. But I think I will let this sit for about 20 minutes. So I will cap it. What I like to do, a good thing is, because I'm trying to get a lot of the essence out of the cloves and out of the orange, the cinnamon was oil and the allspice was powder. So it dissipates and dissolves really easy. But treat this like a sun tea and place it in its cap. Place it in direct sunlight for about 20 minutes, and it will let the it will help that fragrance to move throughout there. And then we'll add the water. So I'm just smelling this again. Now what I'll do is I will add some alcohol. Not alcohol, excuse me. I'll add some water. Once I add the water to it, it's going to get a cloudy looking color. See that? The color that you saw on that pink tint that you saw on the other one was from the oil that I used. It had a red color to it. And it'll give you this milky white. And now you can shake it because you're adding the water to it. And that consistency was quite nice. This is a cream color. And that mixed up quite nicely. So now I can add it to a larger amount of water. And you need to do that because at this stage, if you're paying attention to it, when it's at this stage in this small amount, you could add a little more alcohol to it to make it break down. But what happens is once you add that water to it, you don't smell that alcohol. And so now I'm adding this to the larger container. And it's way too strong. The fragrance is way too strong for this small amount of water. So I would not use it in here, but this is a nice mixing. And you could take half of this and put it in this liter bottle and add the water to it. I'll show you what that looks like because this is quite strong, and so I can probably split it up and make 2 bottles of this. So since I have only one of these liter-sized bottles, I'll only use half of this water in this bottle, and then I'll come back and let you see what it looks like. Here we are. Now you can see what that looks like. From, sorry about that, from this solid looking milky color to that. And now you have to dilute it down. If you do not dilute it down, the essential oils will irritate the skin. And so you don't want that. Perfect. Really nice fragrance. And that's how you make a specialty bath. Now, to use a specialty bath, you would take your shower or your bath, and once you rinse off, there should be no standing water in the tub, or if it's a stand-up shower, you're perfect, but no standing water in the tub. Then you just take this and politely pour it all over your body. You can also rub it in, rub it around the surface of your body, and then air dry. Do not wipe it off with a towel. Just air dry. And that's a specialty bath. When you make your bath preparation, your specialty bath preparation, you can write on this label if you're going to use the bottle one time. It's really nice to write just directly on that label and tell so you'll know what type of bath it is. But in my case, I'm using this as a mixing bottle, and so I just use a piece of masking tape on the bottle and label it. And a lot of times I like to put the date. Yes, this is the winter solstice, so I tend to mix a lot of different items up on special days. So when I use this for something else, I can just pull this off and relabel the date that I made it and what it is. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.